Let's play the Tournament of Power game. This of course means you must choose 10 characters that would be in a theoretical second Tournament of Power by leaving a comment. Whoever builds the best team will have their comment pinned, especially if you built a team stronger than mine, which will be extremely hard. There are only 2 strict rules. The first is that you can't choose someone who is currently dead. Technically, Frieza was chosen for the first Tournament of Power, but if we suddenly started choosing dead characters, this will get too messy too soon. For example, even though Kid Buu is reincarnated into Oob, imagine choosing Kid Buu on your team. His unpredictable manner would be insane, and if you choose someone like Cell, it's hard to fit in villains who may betray your team, and betraying your team means you're dead. The second strict rule is that you can use characters from other timelines but not duplicates. So you can pick future Trunks, but you can't pick both duplicates of future Trunks or also use present Trunks if you're using future Trunks. Each character on your team must be a totally different person. Now let the games begin. Character number 1 is Goku. If we had to pick one key reason why to choose Goku, it would have to be his multiple transformations. You see, as shown in the Tournament of Power, having weaker transformations is essential when you are competing against the strongest characters in the multiverse simultaneously. Not everyone in the Tournament of Power is as strong as Jiren or Kefla, and not every character there has to push you to your absolute limit. So having multiple transformations would be key for fighting against weaker foes that don't require that much power output. In contrast, Goku is also fantastic to have because he has stronger transformations and the endgame of the Tournament of Power. So whenever you need to fight against a big boss type character like Jiren or Kefla, characters who could easily wipe out most fighters in the Tournament of Power alone, having Goku gives you the best chance at defeating them. As a side note, we should also mention that having instant transmission helps a lot as it makes it very hard to knock Goku out of the arena. Character number 2 is Vegeta. Not to sound condescending, but Vegeta is basically a worse Goku, so it's great to choose him because he has multiple transformations at different levels to fight against different characters. He also knows instant transmission now, which also makes it very hard to knock him out of the ring. So you're probably wondering, what does Vegeta add that Goku doesn't have? Focus. Vegeta is less likely to get eliminated for making a stupid mistake than Goku, and we also have Vegeta as a teammate when Goku isn't strong enough to defeat the big boss alone. Having Vegeta around takes pressure off of Goku, and when Vegeta is about to lose, he can always give Goku his energy so that Goku can finish the fight. Simply put, we need Vegeta to make Goku's life easier, as the plot always does. Character number 3 is Gohan. Like Goku and Vegeta, Gohan also benefits from having multiple weaker transformations along with having a new final form in Beast Gohan / Final Gohan that was shown in Dragon Ball Super Hero that can fight against the boss type Uber characters. But what makes Gohan different from Goku and Vegeta is his ability to work within a team frame. As shown in the anime, he did a great job of facilitating the cohesive teamwork of Universe 7 better than anyone else did, and was willing to lose in both the anime and manga and take himself down to defeat both Kefla and Dispo. But what really separates Gohan from everybody else is his potential. It has no limits, and at any moment he can explode and suddenly become stronger than anyone else. Character number 4 is Piccolo. Before Dragon Ball Super Hero, Piccolo never had any quote-unquote transformations, if you don't count fusion as a transformation, which was a good thing. He didn't have to waste energy maintaining a high-end form, and focused on maintaining his abilities the way he is. Now, he does have his Kaiju Big Namekian form, but this isn't useful against most characters due to its size and speed disadvantages, especially in a multiversal tournament where there are characters that can project extreme speed and power into smaller bodies. With the addition of the cringe-worthy title Orange Piccolo, he got the buff that he needed to compete against the strongest foes. Let's not forget his anatomy. He has regeneration, which is perfect for the Tournament of Power where you can't kill your opponent. Let's not forget that Piccolo also has acute hearing, which gives him an advantage to hear his opponent before he actually sees them. And with the conclusion of Dragon Ball Super Hero, there is more reason than ever to have a black guy on your team like Piccolo. Character number 5 is Android 17. He has a massive android barrier that can protect most people from most attacks, and is one of the strongest characters around, so he can fight against stronger enemies, and he doesn't need a transformation. Most importantly, he has infinite energy, so he can fight as long as he's not incapacitated. So theoretically, if Android 17 was as strong as Goku, he would be the perfect fighter for the Tournament of Power, as the only limitation he has is that at the absolute top echelon of power, he can't take out the strongest of the strongest of foes without a lot of help. But then again, Goku couldn't either without help, so what does that even really mean? Either way, Android 17 was the winner of the original Tournament of Power, so it wouldn't make sense to not have him a second time around. And that leads us directly into character number 6, Android 18. Now this is by far the most debatable choice in this video, but when you really think about it, she's basically just a worse version of Android 17, the same way that Vegeta is basically just a worse version of Goku. And her power limitations aren't a huge problem when her teammates are so ridiculously strong. But ultimately, the two main reasons why Android 18 was chosen is because, like 17, she has infinite energy, which is not something you can find easily in the Dragon Ball universe, and she also has perfect fighting chemistry with Android 17. The androids coordinate their attacks together with perfect precision like no other duo does, and in reality, 18's only real difference to Android 17 in terms of techniques is the android barrier, which she may be able to use and we just haven't seen it. So for all of those reasons, 18 would be a fantastic teammate to help defeat the lower to intermediate characters in a second Tournament of Power. Character number 7 is Future Trunks. You can look at Future Trunks as basically a worse version of current Gohan as of Dragon Ball Superhero. Like all of the other Saiyans, he benefits from having lower level transformations to deal with the jobbers of the tournament, but also has a boss form in Super Saiyan Rage that could fight against some of the uber-powered characters. Unfortunately, Trunks' most iconic weapon, his sword, can't be used in the Tournament of Power. But what does Trunks do differently that Gohan and the others can't? Well, if we use the manga adaptation, Trunks has the power to heal as he trained under the Supreme Kai. Now, there may be a discrepancy of whether or not Trunks would be able to use that power in the present timeline, but if applicable, Trunks' healing ability would be essential. Also, since Super Saiyan Rage works similar to Gohan's numerous rage boosts, he also has the potential to get angry and just get stronger than everyone else at a moment's notice. So having a worse version of Gohan that can heal is not a bad thing. Character number 8 is Broly. Broly can use his rage as a massive Hulk-like character to decimate most of the Tournament of Power fighters by himself, sort of like what Kale did but just on a much bigger level. Or Broly can learn to control his power like Kale and fight more controlled, like we saw her do with Cauliflower when they were fighting against Goku. A controlled Broly is a nightmare for the opposition, and his only real weakness would be fighting against characters that are super strong but a lot more intelligent and experienced. We have yet to see what a controlled Broly would look like, but fighting alongside Goku and Vegeta would make taking down uber characters a lot easier. And just to remind you of how powerful Broly is, Goku and Vegeta finished reaching their peak in the Tournament of Power, and this random Saiyan on a bug planet pushed them into Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta just to stop him. It's great to have this monster on your side. Character number 9 is Frieza. Following our first rule, we aren't using dead characters as Frieza is currently alive. Sometimes the strongest characters in your universe aren't heroes, and when it comes to survival, being good and evil doesn't matter anymore. But why Frieza? Well, from a fighting point of view, Frieza has always been a predominantly energy-based fighter, which is extremely valuable in a tournament with so many targets to choose from. And when you combine this with his psychic-like ability to use projectiles as weapons, he can turn various pieces of rubble in the Tournament of Power into weapons to help Universe 7 seal the deal. But most importantly, Frieza's best ability is manipulation, as we saw him manipulate the Manipulator in Frost. So even in a life or death tournament, it still goes to show that socializing still has its value during the downtimes of the tournament, where he can use this manipulation for Universe 7's benefit. Character number 10 is Granola. As of the recording of this video, Granola is not dead, so if the Tournament of Power were to occur during Granola's short lifespan, he would be a major asset if we assume his eyes eventually get fully repaired, because his ability to attack vital points would be fantastic in a team-oriented tournament where he can look and read a lot of enemy movements at once. Just imagine how effective Granola would be at sniping occupied fighters from a distance. This doesn't even include his ability to clone himself, which he showed against Goku, which would trick various opponents throughout the battle. Let's not forget that Granola also has an even faster version of instant transmission, which also makes it very hard to knock him out of the ring. The only downside to Granola is that he wouldn't have Oatmeal assisting him in battle the way he did during his arc, but with the other Universe 7 fighters, he would be just fine. But the team we've constructed today does have problems and questions to answer. For starters, if Granola and Frieza were to die in the upcoming chapters, I would replace them with Krillin and Tien. Master Roshi is my third favorite character, and his wisdom and experience would be very valuable to Universe 7, but Krillin and Tien are much younger than him, and can do many of the same things that Roshi can do but way faster. Plus, they also have more experience fighting alongside Goku directly along with his allies in major battles than Roshi does himself. And for those of you who are wondering why I didn't choose Oob as a replacement, he's still too young as of the recording of this video, and hasn't yet trained with Goku for the foreseeable future. Either way, as you notice, my main team doesn't have any normal humans on it. The truth is that the weaker human characters create a major power problem the more of them that we have, and they also don't have enough unique abilities to keep them over characters like Frieza and Granola if Frieza and Granola are options. For example, Piccolo, Trunks, and Goku can all use the Mafuba, so we don't need Tien and Roshi to do the Mafuba. And they also have a lot more power and stamina to fight against the stronger characters. This isn't to say that Krillin, Roshi, and Tien wouldn't make fantastic replacements, but if you have better options, it's just much better to choose these characters over them. The other issue is that some characters on this team have major beef with each other. Trunks may have bad flashbacks seeing the androids working alongside him, Frieza may have issues fighting alongside Trunks who killed him, and Granola and Broly may have a problem fighting alongside Frieza after all of what Frieza did to them in their race. So as long as these characters' personal gripes don't interfere with each other, like Broly losing his shit and charging at Frieza, there are no other major problems to discuss. So the challenge is up to you. I dare you, I double dare you, to build a better team than this. Either way, check out why Future Trunks needs a movie that goes in depth as to why the next movie should feature Future Trunks. In addition, you're also going to want to watch What If Goku Showed No Mercy and Poor Vegeta that covers his inferiority complex to Goku. And until next time, stay cool and stay safe, my friends.